Evening all, and welcome to episode 60 of Kerbalism. Now, we have recently had a small problem. Between when I first upgraded the tracking station to now, we managed to find some asteroids, one that was going to come very close to Kerbal, and we was going to plan to intercept it. However, something went wrong, and that asteroid disappeared. Not only that one, every asteroid disappeared. I was in the tracking centre. I fast forwarded time to the time when my Duna probe was going to come back, so 400-ish days, and not a single asteroid was appearing. I don't know where I'm wrong. Something broke somewhere. Doing a bit of research online for it, I couldn't find a fix for it, but I did find a mod called Custom Asteroids, which does exactly what it says on the tin. It allows you to customise your asteroids to have more realistic ones. You can actually have an inner asteroid belt, asteroids out by Joule, rather than just all of them being camped around Kerbal. And after installing that, we have managed to actually find some asteroids. They are dotted around there, all different places, all doing different things. Some are quite weird. There's one out here that does some really weird, sort of comes in close and shoots out far. But I've looked at them all, and I've chosen this one. This is the closest to Kerbal that we have. It's slightly higher and goes out a lot further than Kerbal does, but although it doesn't cross the path, it's the closest one I'm going to get to, so I think that's the one we're going to go for. All I need to do is figure out, design and build a ship that can get there, and most importantly, change this trajectory to try and bring it home. And after much over planning and over engineering, this is what I've come up with. This is Asteroid One. Very creative there, I know. This is designed to go and not only grab an asteroid, but also to kind of mine the life out of it. It's got in its cargo bays many things. It's got a farm to get food for our lovely Kerbals here with some food containers. It also has the complete setup to allow it to break down water into fuel, as well as inside this one here. I love this. This is new in the recent update. I like that little deployment pod there. That's quite cool. That is a chemical plant designed to produce hydrazine for our RCS, because we've got little RCS blocks here. More updates from OTP. I really like what they're doing with this. There's loads of wings and stuff added to it as well. But yes, this is designed to go and grab an asteroid, plonk, drill the life out of it, hoping, of course, the asteroid has water, because if it doesn't, this whole plan goes wrong. So we're not going to tell Jeb and Dottie that. We're just going to go mine the asteroid. And yes, it will grab the water. It will produce that. It's got enough to run for 1 year and 48 days on the food it's got here. So I will need to try and bring the asteroid into Kerbin's sphere of influence within that time. Hopefully I can do that, because with this whole setup here, I can produce fuel, essentially an infinite amount of fuel. Again, providing there's water on the asteroid. And at the rear end here, we've got 2 vector engines, which hopefully will be enough to bring the asteroid to a stop somewhere near Kerbal. That's the plan. Now, as I said, it does very much hinge on the asteroid having water. I really hope it does, because if it doesn't, I don't know whether this can come home. And I don't know whether I could mount a rescue to do it. I don't really know what would happen if the asteroid doesn't have water. So I'm hoping they are a giant snowball in space. It's a risk, but it's a risk Jebediah is willing to take. And Dottie's going to go with him, because, well, she's an engineer and we may need one to repair things on the way. But yeah, that's the plan. All I need to do is get this 128-ton vessel into orbit somehow. I might drain it of all its fuel, because each one of these has fuel in it. Every single tank has got fuel in it, but I might drain it right back to having just one tank of fuel. and go and dock it with the station to fill it up. I think that might be a good idea. Not this got any way to dock, but well, we can figure it out once we're up there, I'm sure. Now this definitely takes the cake for my heaviest launched vehicle ever. 937,000 tons. It costs 500,000 credits launch. So I'm really hoping this goes right first time. The craft is also underneath here, and that's gonna go up and just stay there forever, and hopefully mine fuel forever, and everything will be good. Stage recovery tells me I've got a 99% chance of these being recovered and a 89% chance of the main stage being recovered. So I'm going to go with that and hope for the best. So, Jebediah and Dottie, are you prepared? We are going to aim for 250 kilometers. I don't want it to roll, even though I know it always does. If I untick that, maybe it'll work. So, first guess, what do you think? You have no idea, do you? Nope, you're leaving it blank. Okay, so we need to target our station, and we need to wait for the station to be overhead. I think with the other launcher I used to wait for it to be slightly ahead. This one's a lot heavier, and I think its thrust to weight ratio. Now there's something interesting for you. We don't actually have a 1 thrust to weight ratio, which means we can't launch this. It will not move anywhere. Good job I noticed that before we actually carried on. So, how am I going to adjust this to make it launch? So, the way you change the thrust to weight ratio is you drop the rhinos and stick on the mammoths. I'm looking at the stats for the rhino, not really sure what that's actually good for. I'll probably have to have a look at the ISP in a vacuum. It's probably very good in space and no good in atmosphere. These, however, are fantastic in the atmosphere. So, let's try again. First guess. Now we have numbers. There we go. So it must have known. It must have known that the launch wasn't working. Our station has already flown overhead. I'm going to unlock the roll because I don't want it to roll over. I can't remember whether it's at 90 degrees or whether it's at 270 by default. Very interesting that the actual shroud doesn't get affected by clouds there. That makes the craft look very, very weird. But anyway, we are here. We have everything sorted. Jeb and Dottie are ready. The craft is set. Station has gone overhead. So let's push the launch button and let's hope the Kraken isn't hungry. Gravity Turn is definitely one of those mods I couldn't live without. It's got us up here, it's done a fantastic job. I over-engineered the launcher. This has still got half its fuel in it, which is quite impressive actually. So, I think what we'll do is actually bring that fuel forward. I just pushed spacebar. Okay, so we're not going to bring that that fuel forward. We are in fact going to actually, do you know what? Let's give something a go, shall we? Let's let's try and turn ourselves over. These little reaction wheels here also have, the RCS system also have reaction wheels on them, which is very, very useful. But I want the fuel from that. That's got lots and lots of fuel, and I want it. So I am going to try and grab it. I don't know whether this is going to be a good idea or not. Our nose is longer than the back end, so we're going to have to reverse a bit, I think. But let's get over first. We'll just bash that out of the way, I think. Off you go, little decoupler. And yes, right, let's wow, the gimbal on these rockets is quite amazing. It actually comes out the top. But yeah, the gimbal on them is quite amazing, yeah, that's quite impressive actually. Right, so let's turn our RCS on and reverse back a little bit. And I basically want to just grab that again, test the grabber, transfer fuel over from the grabber. I think it lets you do that. I'm not sure. I have never used the grabber, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever used it or anything. Oh, wait, retrograde. I've never tried to catch an asteroid or do anything like that at all. So yeah, just something I've never decided to do. Right, so let's move up a bit. And line ourselves up with that thing there. I'm not sure how fast you have to go for the grabber to work. So let's fire the thrusters and slam into it. Oh, missed it. Go, fire the thruster some more. Nope, we're scraping down the side of it. Oh dear. Okay. So that was a bit of a failed attempt there. Let's we've lost control of the probe. Yes, the power has finally gone on it. I was kind of worried about that. But maybe that's not such a bad thing. Well, that was really bound to end in disaster, wasn't it? So I guess we'll just let that drift off, and yeah, that's a fair bit of money wasted. But oh well. And yeah, we will head instead out to the station, and I'll see you there. And here we are next to the station. I did forget our tanker was docked to this, so this is going to get laggy. But I bet you're thinking, where is the docking port? No added thing to the craft, there's nothing new put onto it anywhere. And that's because I hid it away in here. If we open this one up, you'll see the docking port has been put on top of the convertitron. It's there. Also, because I wasn't sure the clearance was going to be enough, we've got some of these little connectors here, and Dottie in her inventory has some as well. So we could always put one on the station and plug them in that way, because you can use these to plug two things in when they're close to each other. I'm not sure if they will become the same craft, or whether this one would still drift away from the station. I'm not too sure. But anyway, we are going to control from here, open shield, and for this I think we'll be okay, because obviously the station's got arms that dock to it, so I think we'll be alright for anything really. That's going to be okay for that. These tanks here contain everything, but everything. I've got one tank for everything. So in theory, I could start my process now, producing fuel, if I wanted to. But I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that until we get out there and basically save it up, because if these don't work, we're going to have to bring this home quickly, because, well, water and food is going to be a problem. Asteroid One has 1 year, 59 days of food, but only 400 days of water. It's going to take a while to get out there, so I may need to convert everything I've got into fuel and just burn this baby home as fast as possible, because I don't really want to kill Jeb or Dottie. Temperature scan. Oh yes, I've got lots of new things. Obviously we've upgraded the radar station and haven't done the science around the centre for that, so I did that science there to grab some bits and pieces. So right, so we need to now go towards that station, so that's involving pressing H, which is forward, and I will go and dock to this, and I'll see you when we're hopefully there and haven't crashed into anything important. So we are here. We are port to port, and for some reason this isn't docking. I'm not sure why. I've turned up. Oh, there we go. Okay, ignore me. That's lined up. That's yes, of course. I used the other ship to line up to make sure I was pointing in the right direction, and yeah, I guess the other ship wasn't straight. Because it's wing. Yes, right. So, these are getting longer and longer. And I've had a quick look at the new stuff with OTP and OPT, sorry. And well, let's just say this is the 7 crew version, 6 crew version, I think actually. Yeah, I think. And there's a 10 crew version, which is huge. I think the OPT 10 crew version with all its the J version. Are these J? No, these are J. That would be the K version. They could be stations in their own right. They are huge. So yeah, my little stations that I was quite proud of are yeah. But anyway, we'll probably work on upgrading things later. But for now, we need the fuel. We want that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And then we also want that one. And we want to drain the station of fuel and fill up our tank. So with all our tanks now full and everything pretty good, the station is still facing the wrong direction, so these aren't getting any light. But no, I don't think that's a big problem, to be honest with you. They've still got 70 days left. Apparently they are getting light, even though it's on the opposite side, so yeah, they've got magic mirrors in the side or something. Anyway, right, we need to go and find an asteroid, or more importantly, we need to go and find this asteroid, which is in front of us. So I need to try and catch it up, and I need to do it within the 400 days or so of this. So hopefully my calculations were correct. I did do a maneuver node with the whole station before because it just made sense, and I really hope everything is correct. So let's undock. Move away. Close the door. Wait for it to be clear and close the doors. And oh, nope. Actually, open the doors. Close that one. And close that one. Don't need to, but I want to. And yes. Oh, we are. We're okay from monopropellant, I think. We can produce some of it, so yeah, I think we're okay. Right. So to catch an asteroid, let's set this as our target, and well, zoom in here and figure out which way I need to go to do what I want to do. So, after about half an hour of searching and trying to figure out what was going on, I could not get an encounter with the asteroid for the life of me. I couldn't figure out why. It just wasn't having it. So, I've decided to go back to the station and try and dock with it. Hey, there we go. Right. So, yes, I've decided to come back to the station, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till we get round to the periaps of this year. We are on an inside orbit, which means we're travelling faster, and I'm hoping Kerbal will catch up enough with the asteroid here, this would be our closest point with it, for us to be able to leave and catch it round here or up here or something. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's kind of my hope. So that's in 41 days, I think it was. Yep, 41 days. I have set up an alarm for 40 days there. And yeah, I mean, we've got 70 days left on the food here, so I could probably steal loads of food from the station. That wouldn't be a problem. So yeah, we're kind of in good shape, I think. I'll top up the fuel on this, top up the RCS, the food, everything on it, so it's all completely up to scratch before we go. What I've got to do is wait 40 days. And rather than wait, I think I should go out to the moon, which I cannot for the life of me see now. It's probably on the other side of Kerbal. It is over there. Ah, yes, so I can't see it. And we should actually go and do a bit more water mining, I think. That's probably in order. And after doing a fair bit of mining and even sending our tanker over to the station and bringing it back for fuel, we are back here at the station. A few things have moved around. I was just trying to get some more power into these because I kept getting weird warnings about Kinesia Station running out of electricity again. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get to this asteroid and couldn't. Basically, the only way I could get to it was in 300 days when it was at its other side of its orbit, when it was way up here somewhere. But whilst I was trying to figure this all out, new asteroids come along, including this one here. This one that's called Potential Hazard, because it's going to actually encounter Kerbal. It's close enough to actually have a flyby of Kerbal, and I thought, well, I need to catch it early, try and figure something out with it, and yeah, mine it, do things with it. Adding maneuver nodes and playing with them, and I don't even know how long I've done it for. I've managed to get a 45.7 kilometre separation here, and I don't know how much I'm going to need to actually burn to get to it. Something like that, I think. That's going to be 2,600 meters a second delta V. That's yeah, that's a lot. That's an awful lot. However, there is a slight problem with this. Our manoeuvre's in 42 minutes. It's around the planet once, but when I undock, that manoeuvre disappears. It stays with the bloody station and doesn't come with the ship you're going with. And I don't know how to transfer manoeuvres. I've tried using this here to try and add a new one, and I don't know how to get it to come over to this craft here. I don't know. because I know when it changes, it can re-add maneuvers if they're being deleted. So I was wondering, but I couldn't do it. So I think what I'm going to do is generally I'm going to have a look at where this maneuver is. It is kind of behind us, and I will undock. Everything is good. We are full on fuel. We have had a critical failure of our rear RCS. The reaction wheels are gone. That's not too bad. But we are full on everything there, and I believe we're still full on food. Open the pod bay doors, and no, we're a little bit low on food. So let's steal some more food and water from here. Just top us up. And let's undock. Oh no, of course. Got to actually go in here, and this was a tight squeeze. Gotta go in here and undock off. There we go. And it moves over here, and the maneuver node disappears, just gone. So, yeah. Let's move away like that. We'll close that one. I'm not gonna need to, but I want to, and we'll close that one. And I will re-add this maneuver, which was about here, I think. And there was a bit of tweaking with it. It was about 1,000 meters a second, if I'm set as target. Down to about 1,000 meters a second. And we've got an encounter at 124,000. We are slightly off inclination as well. We're higher than it. So I'll tweak this and get it all right, and then come back when we're going to get over here. We're going to be using over half our fuel to meet this thing. So I shall adjust and tweak this maneuver until I can get it just right, and we shall begin our mission to the asteroid in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you again in the next one, and as always, have fun.